Hi, I'm Ryan and welcome to day 2 of your 30-day yoga play. Today will be a Vinyasa class and day 1 was a gentle Vinyasa class. So we're building on that first class. So I'd like you to find a comfortable seat on your mat, whatever that means to you. And once you've found your seat, we'll raise our arms to the sky. Maybe shrug our shoulders up and reach up and look up. Big inhale, and on an exhale, bring our palms to heart center. Here, shoulders back and down. Maybe your eyes are closed and your chin is tucked slightly. Straight spine. We'll do 3 diaphragmatic breaths. So let's inhale to fill the belly. Last third of the breath fills the chest. And just let it go. Second breath, fill the belly. Chest rises and exhale. Third breath. And let it go. You might want to seal your lips for the remainder of the practice and breathe through your nose if that's comfortable. Let's come to all fours. Just for gentle cat-cow to warm up our spine. So, coming into cow, let's start by shifting the pelvis forward. Form a wave-like motion of the spine until your head rises. And for cat, it's the opposite. Reverse from the base of the spine. Form a C shape for cat. Just 2 more. Cow. And cat. You could shift forward and back slightly, if you like, side to side. Cow. And cat. Let's bring our hands slightly forward, shift our knees slightly back, and just gently lean back for a mild puppy pose. Nothing strenuous. Feel a slight stretch in your shoulders, maybe along your sides. You can always add some organic movement here. This is a free-flowing practice. You can add movements that your body wants at any time. And all poses are optional. Now we'll shift back up. And we'll come right away into a downward dog. So we're just going to keep our knees bent slightly and shift back to downward dog. We don't need to straighten the legs out just yet. If you can, feel free. Otherwise, just stay bent here. A little more warming up into the shoulders, maybe the wrists. You could pedal out your down dog with bent knees, or bend one knee at a time. Maybe take a look at your feet and see if you can see your ankles. If you can see your ankles, your feet might be in or out. Let's try to hide them. And from here, you're going to bend from wherever you are and step forward towards your hands. And towards the front of your mat, you're just going to fold. Maybe crossing the arms. Let your head hang. And now we'll inhale to a flat back. And let's see the difference here. If we exhale and fold, Your back should be in a bit more of a C shape. If we inhale to halfway, you should be more of a straight line with your back, maybe tucking your chin. You could always bend your knees slightly to assist you if you're feeling a lot of tension in your hamstrings. And one more fold over. Now here, we're going to roll all the way up to standing gently. Raise the arms up. Palms to heart center. Let's just take a mountain pose for a second. So, palms facing forward or neutral if you like. Shoulders back and down. Feet about shoulder width apart. Energetically bringing the feet together like you're trying to pull the mat together. Tilt your pelvis slightly back, so activate your glutes. Tuck your chin. Hold this mountain pose. You should feel tension, gentle tension throughout your body. It looks like we're just standing, but we're not. And now we're going to get into the Vinyasa and a Warrior One. Nice and slowly, so let's rise up on an inhale and exhale to fold. Here again, we're going to inhale to a flat back, plant the palms on an exhale, step back, and here you could do a modified Vinyasa or you could follow me here, half push-up. Shift forward, upward dog with flipped feet. Now raise your hips, shift back into downward dog. Take a few breaths here. Now I want you to raise your left leg to the sky. I don't have much room here, but you could straighten out your leg. And bring your left leg forward. Plant it between your palms. Now take your right foot, plant it at a 45-degree angle, and rise up with your hips trying to be parallel with the front of the mat. Knee above ankle. Don't worry if it's a short stance. We can do a short stance Warrior One here, no problem. Find that position, tilt your pelvis back to protect your low back, and raise your arms if you'd like, or just hands at your sides. So this is Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. And on your next breath, let's come down. So we bend forward. We bring the foot back. Now we're in a plank. We're going to do another Vinyasa here. So we do a half push-up or modified as you saw in the first video. Shift into upward dog. If you're in upward dog, bring your chest forward. Try not to dip down, but really push out of the shoulders. Raise the hips. Downward dog. Take a few breaths here. Maybe pedal out your dog. Maybe just have bent knees. Or maybe be in child's pose. Whatever you need. This is at your pace. Now we'll bring the right leg to the sky. Could be straight. And bring it between the palms. Plant the left heel down at a 45-degree angle and rise up, shifting the hips parallel with the front of the mat into Warrior One on this side. Maybe the arms up. Just a couple breaths here. Maybe take a look down and see, can you see your big toe? If you can't, your knee is likely caving in. A safer position is to be open in the knee slightly so that you could see your big toe. And check to see the alignment. Is your toe is your knee over your ankle? Or are you maybe a little bit too forward? If you're too forward, no problem, just bring it a bit back. If it's too hard, bring your left foot a bit out to the side, further to the left, and just realign. Next breath, slowly come back down. Let's do another vinyasa here. Chaturanga Dandasana, so that's a half push-up. Upward dog, chest pulling forward with your feet flipped. Flip your feet again, raise the hips. Downward dog. Let's walk the feet to the hands. Half lift on an inhale. And exhale, fold. Now let's roll all the way up, reach up, look up. Hands to heart center. Let's do this progression slightly faster now. Let's try to match it to the breath. So here we go. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back. Keep exhaling, half down. Shift forward, inhale. And exhale, down dog. Right away, left leg up. Plant it. Right foot 45 degrees. And warrior one. Exhale, down, step back. All the way halfway down. Upward dog. Downward dog. Building a bit of heat here. Right leg up. Plant it. 45-degree angle of the foot and warrior one. Exhale down. One more vinyasa for the practice. Upward dog. Chest forward. And child's pose. Could be wide-kneed or together. Return to your breath. It's okay if your mouth opens. See what happens if you keep your mouth closed and try to slow the breath. This simple vinyasa flow can be very easy, or if we're very focused, it can be quite difficult. Even for an advanced practitioner, maybe just mentally difficult, not as much as physically. And of course, being in child's pose and shavasana can be emotionally difficult for some. So find ease. Now we'll come back up and we'll shift onto our backs. Here we're just going to lay down. Find your comfortable position for shavasana. Palms up to receive if you'd like, and let all your muscles go. Feel free to stay in Shavasana for longer. To keep the video short, I'm going to rise up out of Shavasana. Come to my side first. And slowly come to comfortable seated position. Take your time, especially if you get a bit dizzy with the blood flow. In your comfortable position, seated position, raise your arms. Look up, reach up. Now peel your arms down. Maybe slide your thumbs past your nose, your lips, your chin, right to your heart center. With an open heart, maybe closed eyes. Thank yourself for your practice, and I thank you for your practice, and namaste. Welcome to the tutorial section of day 2. If you already did the practice, you noticed that I didn't do the modified vinyasa that Lotta did in the first day. I did a full Vinyasa Flow, and I'm just going to break that down quickly in case it was a little uncomfortable. Depending on our flexibility imbalances, it might be really hard to get your elbows to your sides, for example, or really to stretch your front body. And then, of course, in Warrior 1, which we introduced, there might be a little bit of issue with the hips. We'll talk about Warriors later, but today we're just going to discuss the actual Vinyasa Flow. So when you are in a standing position and you come down to your fold, you raise up to the flat back, and this is where it starts. So we plant the palms and step back in one movement while exhaling. So this whole thing is on an exhale because we're coming down. So now we want to shift our weight slightly forward. This is a quite hard push-up. We can be a little further back, but we'd like to be elbows over wrists. So on an exhale, we come down to a halfway. Chaturanga Dandasana is essentially a half push-up staff pose. So once you've reached halfway down, if you look at my feet, when I inhale, I shift forward and I flip my feet. I bring my shoulders down and back, and I pull my chest forward. This is where, depending on your flexibility, you might feel quite a stretch, which is why you have the option of the modified vinyasa from day 1. And that's no problem. If you want to do that for the entirety of the 30 days, that's no problem. But you're going to see, from moving forward, you're going to see this version probably much more likely. Once you're here, you've inhaled and you're here. And then on your next exhale, you lift your hips, you flip your feet at the same time, and you shift back into down dog. Again, here, you can be bent depending on your flexibility. Your knees can be bent. You tilt your pelvis forward and you try to shift your weight back, which allows your shoulders to move more into flexion. If you have good flexibility, you can stretch your legs straight and even get your ankles to the ground. If you've done that, take a look back again. Make sure you can't see your ankles. Very likely, if you can see your ankles on the inside, you have a flexibility imbalance, probably a tight right and left side IT bands. Either way, we want to focus on good form. Over time, it will fix our imbalances. Now I'll just come back to the beginning and do that again a little faster. So once we've raised our arms and we fold, and then we come to a flat back, that's the inhale. Now the exhale is plant palms, step back, exhale, halfway there. Now we shift forward, rise up, inhale, Now we raise the hips, flip back, exhale. And one other thing to note is that any cues from a yoga instructor do not have to be listened to. So if this is too intense, if it's not the right day for you, you could lie in child's pose, you could lie on your back, you could simply listen and learn from the cues for next time when you're actually going to practice it. It's really about time on your mat and connecting movement with breath. So this whole concept is a moving meditation. If you're too mentally distracted by how difficult it is, if you can't catch your breath, you might not catch the essence of yoga. So be gentle with yourself, which is why our first day, of course, is called gentle. But of course, if you're comfortable, you can add a little more challenge. But the challenge is to be gentle under strain. So the harder the practice gets, we should still feel equanimity. We shouldn't feel extra stressed or extra bothered or extra aggravated in any muscles. We should remain as calm as we can. And that's when the essence of yoga starts to set in and start to impact you in positive ways in other areas of your life. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next practice.